Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my garden. So today we are on the side of my house at my cottage garden bed. It's a beautiful day and the birds are chirping and it's heavenly out here. So I finally got word that my Sem False Spirea that I purchased from Monrovia online finally came in. So maybe it was like a month ago, Steph from Hooked and Rooted, she has her own YouTube channel. She's wonderful. She is in zone 6 and I think she's in New York or New Jersey, one of those areas. I'll put it right down here. But she was doing her winter garden tour and she talked about this shrub that she has in her garden called the Sem False Spirea, and she showed a picture of what it looked like in spring, and I just fell in love. It had these ferny like pinky foliage on it, and then as I was looking it up, the pinky red foliage turns to chartreuse and then it turns to a deep green, and it even has some white blossoms on it in late spring. And so I just got obsessed with it. I loved it. I even told her in the comments that I wanted to get it. And then I looked it up and it turns out it's zones 2 through 11. I mean, that's everything basically. So obviously in zone 9 it will be fine, and in Steph's zone 6 it does fine as well. So I talked to her about it on Instagram and everything, and she totally thought that the shrub would do great in my zone as well. So I purchased it off Monrovia online and then had it delivered to my local garden center, and it just came in. So I went and I picked it up when I picked up the pansies, and then here it is right here. Let me flip the camera around. So here it is right here. You can see it has this kind of ferny foliage on it, and it's kind of like a bronzy right now, but what it says is it's going to start off as like a pink, almost red, and then as the season goes on, turn to a chartreuse, and then finally a green, like I said. And I just thought this was so cute. This is when I picked it up. Monrovia online order. Thank you, Janie. I just thought that was really cute. So this is not a commercial. I actually purchased this. So I'm really excited about this plant. I am planning to put it just about right there. One of the really great things about this plant is it's good on a slope. It's good for erosion control, and it can handle basically any type of lighting. This I would consider like a partial sun. As my birch tree starts to flush out, this area is going to get more and more shaded. So I think it will be a really good plant for right there. There's another plumbago that's kind of fleshing out. These are delphiniums, and then these are dianthus from Annie's Annuals. So I think it will be really, really pretty. This plant does get to about 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. And as I was reading about it, it did say that it can be kind of a thug. And so you have to stay on top of it. This is not a plant that you want to just set it and forget it. It's something that you're going to have to prune back once or twice a year for size control, watch out for runners and all that type of stuff. But I think I can handle that, no big deal. I mean, I have a English ivy espalier that I keep under control. So I think I'll be okay with that, but I just wanted you guys to know that if you did want a plant like this, just be ready to really stay on top of it. So I'm not going to amend the hole with anything other than the Sure Start. I have my little white bucket that I have all my Sure Start in. So this should be a pretty easy planting. We already have drip in this area. I might run into a couple glad bulbs that I planted in the area. I tried to leave a space because I knew I was going to plant this shrub there. And then, like I said, that plumbago is right next to it, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to take that out. So I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can fit both in at this point, and then maybe train the plumbago to go up the fence. But I kind of think I'm asking for too much. I'm trying to stuff too much in one spot. So let's get the Sem False Spirea in. So I had a couple roots that I had to work around. I think that they're from the birch tree. So I had to kind of push it back a little bit, but I think that it'll be okay. So I'm gonna put in my Sure Start, just kind of pour that in. Take this beautiful plant. You can see it's got a nice root system. And get it down in there. All right. All in all, this is pretty easy planting today, honestly. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pop a emitter right in here. I'm probably gonna do 1 gallon an hour, I think. I'll do at least for this year, and if I have to back off of that next year and do it a ½ gallon, then that'll be fine. And then I'm pretty much done. Take off the tags, and that's it. So let me finish that, and I'll give you guys a final look. Okay, and there it is. So hopefully it'll grow into this big, beautiful foliage of a plant. I'm really excited because I planted a lot of like bloom heavy plants in this garden bed for my cottage garden border, which I feel like that's what you do in cottage garden beds, but I think it'll be really pretty to have a foliage focused plant. I think that takes it up to like the next level of gardening. So thank you so much to Steph for the great inspiration in your winter garden tour. I'll link that video below. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this guy does. I think it's gonna be fine. Like I said, it seems kind of like a monster of a plant. I was thinking as I was cutting back the landscape fabric, Steph was warning me that this guy does send out runners and you have to kind of be on top of it, like I said. So I was thinking as I was cutting back, maybe because I have landscape fabric in this garden bed, the landscape fabric was here when we moved in and we just decided to leave it. Maybe that will limit the amount of runners. That's what it does for the plumbago. When you pull back the landscape fabric, you can see the plumbago's runners that it tries to send out, and then they just die because they can't get up from the landscape fabric. So I'm wondering if that's gonna help with this Sem False Spirea. So we will see. I will keep you guys updated. So the last thing I wanted to show you guys, our last frost date is March 1st, and about 4 days before our last frost, we had a hard frost, and it was shocking because we were like in the 70s here. It was beautiful. I thought spring had sprung, and it was a fluke. And I guess it has hit a lot of the garden centers around here. They thought it would be fine too. So a lot of the fruit tree blossoms had died off and everything like that. So I had 4, I don't want to say casualties because I don't think they're casualties yet, but I had my unicorn plant, the Kufia, that one definitely got affected. And then the main ones, which I'm kind of not surprised, is my heliotrope arborescens. And this one I'm disappointed about. I was so excited about this one, but it's only zones 10 through 11. So it's definitely not frost hardy, and I did cover this with harvest guard, and this still happened. So you can see, I don't know with the black mulch, but you can see it's crispy at this point. However, if you look at this one, there's still signs of life down here at the bottom. So I am going to leave these in. I'm gonna see what happens, kind of just take care of them. I don't think we should have any more frosts, knock on wood or anything like that. We'll see, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up of what happened with that hard frost that we did have. These 4 were really only the only ones that really had an issue with everything. And these 4, I covered these with harvest guard. So it was a bad frost we had last week. So I do have to say I was disappointed with the frost and hurting these plants, these new plants that I just planted, but honestly, it was my fault. I knew we hadn't hit our last frost date yet, and I say it all the time, even our last frost date is still only a percentage of guaranteed last frost, like 70% or something like that. So there's still a 30% chance that we could get another frost even now. So I know I'm pushing it. I know, I'm tempting fate and everything like that. So I just have to remember that this is fun. This is a hobby. It's okay. I can go back to Annie's and I can get some more if these guys don't survive. But I do see life, so I'm just gonna leave it and wait and see. So anyway, that's the video for today, planting my Sem False Spirea in my cottage garden bed. Very excited about that, and I will keep you guys updated. If you enjoyed this, please consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button, and I hope you all get a chance to get out into your garden today.